Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our weekly Watch Party Wednesday. I'm Lee Gordon, coming to you live from Chicago, home of Brunswick, where we are thrilled to welcome our incredible Freedom Boat Club owners and members from all over the world. And for tonight's Freedom Fleet Spotlight special, we're here with Barry Slade, Vice President of Fleet for Freedom Boat Club, and we are thrilled to be joined by the President of Boston Whaler, Nick Stickler, who will be providing an exclusive overview of the new model year whalers entering our Freedom Fleet this season. Nick and Barry, how are you doing, guys?
Excellent, Lee. How are you doing today?
You guys are probably doing a little bit better. We were just talking before this about the weather difference, and that's why I'm glad we're inside. I feel like at some point we're going to stop talking about the weather, but for right now, when it's 6 below here, I'm a little bit jealous of you guys, I got to admit.
Yeah, well, it's boating season down here in Florida.
We're not going to tell you what the weather's like here, Lee. But,
there's a lot of ice fishing outside my door right now, so we'll just leave it at that. So Nick, let's start with our icebreaker question that we always ask. You know, as you know, our Freedom Social Club has a whole series of Taste of Freedom tunes playlists on Spotify. I know you're a boater. I know you and your family like to hit the water. What's your number one favorite song to rock out to on the water aboard your Boston Whaler?
Well, I got an eclectic taste in music, Lee, but I'd have to say we do a lot of owner events and we have a lot of fun. And by far, I love the social aspect of boating. So, you know, you got to get some island music going. Jimmy Buffett, of course, the crowd favorite. It always gets everybody engaged. I don't care if it's your best friend next to you or someone you never met. You get that going, and all of a sudden you're having a party.
So, you know, you've obviously, you know, you love boating, you love the water, but you've got a very interesting career that brought you to Brunswick and getting your start at Ford before joining Brunswick a little over 15 years ago. Then you've been in strategy, you've been in business development. You're president of Harris at Cypress K, living in Indiana before taking over the helm of Boston Whaler in 2016. Can you walk us through what inspired you to pursue a career in the marine industry and what it means to you to be the president of such an iconic brand?
Sure. It's kind of interesting how things happen, but, you know, I grew up in Michigan, so doing lots of lake boating, water skiing, tubing, you know, that was every weekend, and I loved it. But it really wasn't until college, I think I truly developed an affinity for the marine life. I had a great friend who had a sport fishing boat, and we go out in Lake Erie and, you know, go down to Cleveland, go to Put-in Bay in Ohio, go to an amusement park, Cedar Point. And to me, that just opened up this world of, wow, you can just live on the water. We get out of Lake Erie, you can't see the land anymore. We go spend days on end just having a great time meeting boaters. And to me, that really expanded and it's developed a real love for the water. But I have to say, you know, then I grew up in Michigan, and what do? You go to the automotive industry. so I did that for a bit, but then coming out of business school, in the Chicago area, Brunswick was there, and we got hooked up, and I said, wow, there's a lot of parallels with the automotive industry and marine, but of course, you know, I personally had a little more affinity for boats than cars, so, you know, that's how I got hooked up with Brunswick and had a great chance to run a number of different great businesses within Brunswick. But I'd have to say, you know, being part of Boston Whaler is something special. Of course, I knew about Boston Whalers from when I was a little kid, and it's an iconic brand, and I would just say that, you know, it's 1,200 people that work here, and every single one of them care about it just as much as I do, if not more. And that's what makes it a special brand.
And you're right. That's what's so incredible about Whaler and many of the Brunswick brands, and including Freedom. And Barry, I know you're a fan of Boston Whaler, but can you let us know what our clubs and members love so much about the Whaler models that we have in our Freedom fleet, and which new models are being added this season?
Yes, I am. I'm a big fan of Boston Whaler. I haven't been in the industry my whole life. I mean, it's such an aspirational brand. I'd love to own one day myself. And we do have quite a few 17 Montauk's across the South Florida fleet. And our members love the fact that, first of all, really, it's a Boston Whaler. You know, it's such as you said, an iconic brand. People think quality, they think safety, and it really excites Freedom prospects when they hear that, you know, that we have Boston Whalers in our fleet. The 17 Montauk's, it's probably the most popular whaler ever. So, you know, a lot of people know about it. It's stable. It's got a lot of storage area for a 17-foot boat. It's a great fishing boat, good fishing options. It does well in shallow water, which we have a lot of here in Southwest Florida. It handles the chop well. People can run it up on the beach. You can cruise around in it. It does so many things well. So we're excited to have that as part of our fleet. We have more 17s headed to the fleet this season, some to our franchisees as well. We're also placing orders for some 19s. And compared to the 17, it just gives our members a little more room to move around and a little better seakeeping ability. But some exciting news. Many of our franchisees are also considering the new 220 Dauntless. It's been so popular it's hard to get one, but I had a chance to experience it. It's and the 240 at a really well done Boston Whaler launch event in Sarasota recently. Totally impressed with the high freeboard on the boat. A lot of innovations in seating and got to have lots of cup holders. All that they've thought everything through. And again, I think they've got a home run there for boat clubs and for boaters in general. It does so many things well: cruising, fishing. You can even tow water sports from the tower. So really well thought out. Great boat. Looking forward to having that and other whalers become an even bigger part of our fleet in the future. So excited. So Nick, following this interview, we'll be sharing a special video with our members about Boston Whaler's 60-year plus history and also a series of product walkthrough videos. But can you tell us what you're most excited about when it comes to Whaler's new models this season and why they're perfectly suited for Freedom Boat Club?
Absolutely, Barry. No, so I mean, you mentioned the 220 Dauntless. That is our latest boat. It's just starting to come out of the factory now, so there's not a lot of people that have experienced it yet. You're one of the lucky ones, but you'll certainly be seeing those. But you also mentioned, one of my favorite whalers, the 17 Montauk. It is such an amazingly classic thing, and like all whalers, whether it's the brand new 220 Dauntless or the 17 Montauk, which of course has been around a bit longer. For us, it's all about the versatility. That's how we design the boats. We want to have great styling. We want to have great functionality. But, people use their boats for so many different things. You want to go to the beach. You want to do some water sports. You just want to cruise. Heck, you don't even want to leave the dock. You can hang out in the boat and have a great time. There's so many great ways to use a boat. And so we wanted to we design these boats for all those use cases. And that's something that's really core to every single whaler. And the 17 Montauk, one of the neat things is that boat's been around since 1974. It existed, and it's only been redesigned twice. So it's an extremely classic model, but the latest one got a keel up design in 2017. It really has a great running surface, and I hope more of your members get a chance to try it out because people are really surprised by it. It's not an enormous boat, but it's a fun one to drive.
They love it. We've gotten great reviews, and we're glad to have it a part of the fleet.
Well,
Awesome.
Nick is largest, with the largest club in the world. Freedom has certainly become the #1 social club for boaters. And we all know whaler owners are quite the social group. You guys have events. You did have events, and we'll get to those again. But when we get on the other side of COVID, what types of owner events and activities are you looking forward to getting back to the most?
Well, you just brought up my favorite part of being associated with whalers, being able to spend time in the water with our customers. And as I said, I grew up in the Great Lakes area, and that was a lot of fun. But I have to admit, the first time I headed out at Fort Lauderdale and pulled into the Bahamas, that was another life-changing event. And that we do several of those. The Bimini event in the summer is fantastic. One year we had almost 80 boats with us. So I really look forward to getting back to those events and just experience. A lot of people that go, it's the first time they've ever left the country in their boat, and we want to get more people feeling comfortable doing that, and they love it.
So Nick, one final question for you, and the most important one. In one word, what does Boston Whaler mean to you?
Well, Boston Whaler can mean a lot of different things, but I have to say the thing that resonates best, and we use it all the time, is Boston Whaler to us is a community. I mean, whether it's someone using our boat, their friend owns one, whether it's in the Freedom Boat Club, whether you bought one, or whether you're just talking with someone at the docks, it's amazing how passionate people are about the brand. They want to learn about it. They want to jump on the boat and experience it. They may want to own one someday, but it's that sense of community that if you're around a Boston Whaler, you're generally talking about the boat.
It's incredible. I've been on many of them before, and I think you've got a customer on the line here. I think Barry has snuck it in a couple times. He's ready. He's ready for a whaler.
We got a production slot for him. Don't worry.
Nick and Barry, I can't thank you enough for joining us on our Freedom Social Watch Party Wednesday. Members, stay tuned for next week as we continue to cheers to freedom, family, and fun in 2021.
Boston Whaler was originated by Dick Fisher sometime in the early 50s.
He was reading a magazine, Popular Mechanics magazine, about a couple of new components. One was called fiberglass and the other one was called styrofoam.
Fisher did some engineering with it and created what we now have as our Unibond construction, which is a full bottom or hull, and what makes Whaler unique is the inner liner. He marries those two pieces with a special process weld and then completely fills the core with the polyurethane foam, making it unsinkable. You could cut that boat into 100 pieces and every single one of those would float.
He wasn't trying to start a boat company to go sell a bunch of boats. He was building something for himself, and he was doing it with cutting-edge materials and new thoughts and new innovation, trying some things that nobody had ever tried. And we do that today.
The brand moved from Rockland, Mass on or around 1987, moving to Florida.
Since that time, this entire campus has evolved into one of the premier boat building facilities in the world.
We're taking a refined design concept and all the ideas from our industrial design team, and we're bringing it to life. So we're doing the naval architecture, we're doing the structural engineering, we're working with suppliers and developing all the component parts, doing all the fiberglass tooling.
In fact, how we build things, even though technology and some materials have changed, is very similar to the first boat that Dick Fisher built in 1958.
It's a boat that's handcrafted, and the employees really take pride in what they're doing.
The pillars of the brand, the safety, the quality, the reliability have stayed consistent. And that's what you would like to see through changes in leadership.
This is a company that's persevered over a lot of years with different leadership and different people in all the key positions. And I think that speaks to the culture of the business. It transcends any individual person, any individual group, and any individual strategy or thought we might be working on.
Everything we do in product development evolves around the customer.
This is actually my 7th Boston Whaler.
I grew up with a friend that had a 13-foot Whaler.
The boat was bought in 1967. It's now JJ's.
We look at how can we give people a better overall experience on the water while they're using our product.
The fact that they're the safest boats on the water, the amount of innovation we bring, and the level of engineering we bring with it, makes it like no other boat on the water. By far, they are the safest boat. In my opinion, they're the most highly engineered boat.
When I first started, it was very much looking at what's the competition doing. We've evolved over time to have the competition in the corner of our eyes, but we're never staring straight at them. We're always staring straight towards the future.
Being a product leader as our strategy means creating and introducing into the market the most innovative product.
It makes the rest of the industry look at us and say, wow, what's Boston Whaler going to do next?
I think Boston Whaler is iconic. I think Boston Whaler is the past, but it's also so much of the future.
Welcome, my name is Ken Beauregard. I'm a regional business manager for Boston Whaler, and it's going to be my honor to walk you through the 17 Montauk. The Montauk is a very versatile boat. This particular boat is equipped with the optional sun lounge here. Great for lounging. Of course, these cushions just come out, and there's a non-skidded surface here. If you're fishing, use this as a big casting platform. The other thing I'd like to point out is this huge insulated compartment here. This can be used as a either as a fish box, or you can ice it down and put cold drinks in it. Forward of this locker is your anchor locker right here. And this boat is equipped for the trolling motor with the trolling motor panel here. So your trolling motor would mount on the gunnel here and just plug in there. This boat also has the optional fishing package. Gives you this cooler seat here with rod holders here. Has a bimini top. Moving back to the helm, you'll notice the high quality stainless steel wheel. You've got an electrical switch panel here, and you have a lot of real estate for surface mounting navigation equipment. So this will take either a 7 or 9-inch screen. Over here is what I call our chuck space. This is a space that you can throw your cell phones, wallets, cup holders, and then we give you a 12-volt charger there as well. Moving back, you'll notice that the pilot seat is reversible, and inside this we have the optional live well. The other thing this boat has are these optional stern seats, and these are great because the backrests go in the rod holders. So if you're not using them, if you're fishing, you'll just take these and stow them, and then the seat cushions simply pop out. So again, if you're fishing and you don't want to get these cushions messed up, just take it out and put it back in when you're ready to use them. That's the 17 Montauk. Thank you very much.
The word dauntless is defined as showing fearlessness, bravery, and determination. In other words, ready for anything. The Dauntless family was born of that spirit, designed for the boater who lives for adventure and refuses to compromise. Designed to create possibility without trade-offs, breaking rules governed by size or limited by imagination, shedding notions of what a bay boat looks like. Dauntless is for those wanting not just to do more, but also to be more. More than an angler, a conservationist. More than a parent, a role model. More than a follower, a leader. In a boat that's more than just confident, it's dauntless. Introducing the all-new 220 and 250. A bold new definition of dauntless.
Hi, I'm Mark Robinson, Program Manager at Boston Whaler. Today we're going to go for a walkthrough of the new 220 Dauntless. Starting at the stern, the 220 Dauntless is available with Mercury Verado outboards, ranging from 200 to 250 horsepower. You'll notice at the back of the boat a stern deck with 2 casting platforms on port and starboard with a swim ladder. The swim ladder is angled away from the motor for safety and is easy to deploy from either in or out of the water. Here on the stern deck you can see 3 great rod holders, an easy to access fuel fill, raw water washdown, and a freshwater sprayer. There's 2 jump seats with a cup holder for each. The jump seats pop up. These provide a great place to sit while the boat runs. Under the jump seats, you can lift out the seat bases. It provides easy access to your switches, batteries, and any mechanicals you need to service and maintain your boat. Moving forward into the cockpit, you'll notice immediately this isn't your traditional bay boat. 22 inches of cockpit depth, which combined with an 18-degree dead rise hull, isn't like anything you've ever experienced before on a bay boat. At the helm, you'll see that this 22 Dauntless is equipped with a reversible pilot seat with live well. You'll find 4 ergonomic seating positions, 2 rod holders, and easy access to your bait. If you're not fishing on the boat, this tub's insulated and makes a great cooler. The helm keeps all your controls in very ergonomic locations, and there's tons of room for electronics. Alongside the Raymarine electronics, you can have a Raymarine VHF, a Fusion stereo, and the boat can be optioned with a vessel view display. The helm switch panel puts all the switches in easy reach for the captain, and resettable breakers mean you're never chasing a fuse. On top of the console, you'll find a compass, USB charger and 12-volt receptacle, and a SeaDeck dash pad to keep your items from sliding around. Everything can be in easy reach. You can see that this particular boat's equipped with our aluminum T-top. The T-top provides you with 4 rod holders, a water sports tow point, and plenty of shade. Storage in this bag. The aluminum frame can come in either white or black, and the canvas can be in either blue or black. This boat's very well equipped for fishing. It's got an 8-foot white power pole in the back. In the bow, you've got a 36-volt motor guide GPS-enabled trolling motor, rod holders in either gunnel, and tons of room really complete the experience. Inside of the console is your head with optional pump out. There's also your trolling motor batteries and charger. Moving forward to the console, you'll find a feature that truly makes the 22 Dauntless unique in its class. This lounge with space for 2, fold-down armrests, and cup holders is something you won't find on any other boat in this size range. Underneath the lounge is lockable storage to pass your rods through, put buckets, coolers, bags, or any gear you'd like to bring with you for a day on the water. On the foredeck, you find a great casting platform. In the aft section is an easy-to-access fish box. And forward is your anchor locker. If you choose to cruise the boat, you can snap cushions in place, or it's a great non-skidded surface to fish from. Continuing in the bow, you can see there's a rod holder on either side, so you've always got a place to put a rod down. Low-profile bow rails with cup holders, nav lights split on either side next to the cleats, and you can see the trolling motor flat. If you choose to, you can option out the low-profile bow rails and select either a single high rail or a split bow rail. Thanks for walking through the new 220 Dauntless with me. For more information, please visit bostonwhaler.com.